Hey everyone, this is Jeremy Fromm with Mercury Security. Welcome to a special report of the Mercury Minute. I spoke with Jeff Ross with Acre Security at ISC West, and we talked about how Mercury impacts most of the platforms that they support today. Take a few minutes and listen to this conversation.
Jeff, thanks so much. Really appreciate you joining the Mercury Minute. Acre's been a long-time Mercury partner. We're really thankful and grateful for the partnership. So maybe the first question, could you talk about the partnership? What's made it successful over the many years? Why do you and why do your customers love Mercury?
Yeah, for sure. So thanks for having me. Yeah, it's interesting because Mercury is really baked into the DNA of Acre. As you know, at one point, Mercury was part of the Acre portfolio.
That's right.
So me personally, I go back to the late 90s. Former employer of mine, we were one of the first OEMs, actually the first OEM to bring Mercury to the market. So we've been there myself personally since day one. Mercury's been, a really reliable product. It's robust. It's a product that you put in, and you really don't have to worry about it. It really is rock solid.
It just works, right? Like I hear people talk about Mercury, and they're like, my boards are 20 years old, and I'm like, you should probably update your boards.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's great that they work.
No, it's awesome. So yeah, with the Acre specifically, there's always been a really good relationship there. The partnership's been solid. The innovations that you guys have done over the years have aligned, with some of the vision that we have as well. So yeah, the partnership, obviously you guys are an open system. There's a lot of other companies that work with Mercury. That's a good thing. It keeps us honest as a manufacturer. We need to make sure we're delivering what we can for our customers, because if not, they have other options. The flip side of that, if our competitors are falling down and they're not doing their job, we have options to expand market share on our side as well.
Yeah, I think it helps the industry continue to innovate, continue to do better. You can't just corner a customer in and lock them in anymore with Mercury. It's great for the industry, I think, overall.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe changing gears a little bit, let's talk about some legacy hardware.
Yeah.
There's a lot of legacy hardware out there, green boards all over the place. Overall, Mercury has, I think, 5 million boards on every single continent in the world. And so there's a lot of Mercury hardware out there. If you had to tell or give a recommendation to a customer using legacy hardware, what would that recommendation be? It's probably going to be upgrade your legacy hardware, but why? Why are we saying that if they work?
Yeah, so it's interesting. We just talked about the longevity of these boards. And back in the late 90s and in the aughts, I think that was really, really a good thing.
Yeah.
It's a positive. You can kind of set it and forget it type deal.
Yeah.
But I think as we move into a more cyberistic world, I think we need to be more vigilant on keeping things updated. So for me personally, the number one reason you want to upgrade from those green boards, and by the way, I don't think there's a close number two, is for just the cyber piece alone. Everything you guys have done on the innovation side to keep up to date with the latest cyber technologies around really the whole gamut, everything from encryption through data in transit, data in rest, how you're managing IDs. I think for me, that's the number one reason you want to move forward.
And I would agree with that 100%. It's having that full end-to-end encryption, I think, is a critical thing for really everybody in the industry. And I've seen a big shift from it just works, it doesn't matter, to it costs our organization a lot of money if we ever have a cyber breach.
Yes.
So we need to make sure we harden our systems every step of the way, and Mercury is one of those components.
Yes, by far. Yeah, I think that piece gets missed sometimes. A lot of the focus is on the software, and you're in the cloud in our case, with Acre Control, and how are you secure, and how you meet in privacy standards and cyber standards. I think sometimes the hardware piece gets left out. I don't think maliciously. I think just people forget about that piece. But your system's only as strong as your weakest link.
100%.
So it's important. So yeah, if you're still using green boards, those things are rock solid on the hardware side, but we definitely want to move you forward to get you up to date on the firmware and all the other pieces on the security side.
Let's talk about something that may not be Mercury. Maybe it's Mercury, maybe it's not Mercury. But what is Acre doing? What are you launching here at ISC West? Why is it important? What do you want to tell customers around the world?
Sure. The piece that we're most excited about that we launched actually earlier this week was our Acre Gallery, which is similar to you released I think a few months back, your embedded kind of app store and marketplace.
Store. That's right.
That's essentially our online marketplace for Acre and for Acre Control. Essentially, that's going to be is a repository for all our fit scripts and packages that we've been building over the past year. And it really is going to be a tool that's going to allow our customers to really customize their overall user experience. So some of the things, if you think App Store, some of those apps/packages, it could be anything from custom reports that you might want to write specific to your needs that could be created, automated, scheduled to send out to folks at various times. It could include integrations, things like integrating to Enter ID or Okta for identity management, or to Workday for managing permissions, access permissions in your system. And that can run the whole gambit into custom workflows, such as integrating with a visitor system to manage a guest pass experience for your contractors and visitors that might be coming through. So yeah, it's a really great tool that we have. It's really an extension of our existing API. So because it's built on our API, the sky really is the limit of the customization. And if you can think it, you could probably build it. So it's really going to allow our customers to create unique experiences, hopefully leverage some of the data that they have in unique ways, and hopefully realize some untapped efficiencies that they didn't even know they had for that. So that's probably the biggest thing we're launching.
That's really cool.
And talking about. And then of course, longer term, we acquired Rex last year,
Okay,
which is going to be, for the future for us, our generative AI tool that we're going to leverage, just natural language capabilities to, again, optimize customers' experience and systems to really leverage, some of the data that they're collecting. So really early in the process, not much more we can talk about yet. We're examining use cases and where the customer needs, but we're really, really excited where that's going to take us in the near and upcoming future.
That's awesome. It sounds like a lot of things to make customers' lives better, more efficient, utilizing the data in ways that people probably never imagined. And that can get so complex too. So having the centralized location where you can have your apps and your different tools to do things, customers are going to benefit from that. It really puts the power at their fingertips. So that's awesome.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, one of our new kind of core muscles we're looking to build as Acre moving forward is the whole customer experience element. And that runs the entire gambit, but it starts with the software and the user experience and how our customers can really optimize their operations to operational their efficiencies and really leverage our tools to create a nice, secure environment.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, appreciate the time. For everybody watching, if you're on a legacy or proprietary system, I'd highly recommend checking out Acre and their platform. It's really powerful. It's really cool. It does a lot. So if you're in the market, you're looking, check them out, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. So appreciate the time.
Awesome. Thank you, Jeremy.
Thanks for the partnership.
That's the Mercury Minute. Stay open and stay secure, my friends. See y'all next time.